Hey guys, this is King Jamba here with
Jason.
And Jason, how did you do today?
I ended up getting bopped really hard by Salad and got second at our case tournament for Ignition Assault Specialist.
I wonder who you got bopped by.
Real hard.
Who did you get? All right. Did we already say what you're playing today?
I am playing New Age Hat.
New Age what?
Hat.
Okay. Listen.
Handtrap Artifact Traptrix.
What?
Artifact Traptrix.
All right, go ahead and let's get into it.
So
playing the spice today.
So starting off with the Traptrix lineup, Miramello searches a whole a whole trap card. Mantis searches a Traptrix monster. I am playing 2 Dynea since we have the new card from Ignition from Dual Overload. So I'm cutting the Traptrix lineup to 10 to make sure like I'm not overdrawing Traptrix monsters.
Yes, sir.
And then for the 2 one-ofs, I'm playing 1 Genlincio, 1 Nephistus to make sure that I'm staying within 10 Traptrix monsters in the main deck. And summoning her off Traptrix Sarah is really nice when you're opening up with a bunch of hole cards, because then she is special summoning 1 from the deck as well, and you're just incurring more advantage off of that.
All right, here's what I want to know. In Master Roll 5, how did this go out for you?
Never came up today.
Really?
Like, I ended up summoning her when my opponent evenly matched me. And like, I had a board of Sarah, he evenly matched. I took away all my back row since he activated a normal trap card. Sarah summoned this to get back one of my trap hole cards in graveyard. And then he just ended up activating a second evenly matched on me, so I lost the card anyway. So in this tournament, it never really came up. In theory, it's really good as a one-of just to keep incurring advantage, like they're banished during end phase. But Mantis allows you to bounce your spells, or bounce a set spell or trap card, and then you can set 1 from your hand, so you avoid the banish it during your next end phase. The same thing with Dynea as well. That's the Traptrix lineup. For the Artifact lineup, I am playing 2 Scythe and 2 Moral Tech. So right now I'm going a much heavier Artifact lineup because I'm playing Artifact Ignitions in order to pop these if I hard draw them. I'm also playing a lot of Symptoms.
You know what? I'm gonna say shout out to the boy House of Champs, because
getting this shit bought out.
Yeah, this is all his fault. I blame you, House.
I bought these when they were 4. I don't care. I dodged the buyout. So yeah, as far as my Artifact lineup is concerned, 2 Scythe, 2 Moral Tech. Hard drawing them is completely fine because I'm playing Ignitions and I'm also main decking Heavy Stormduster. We'll see that later. So hard drawing these is completely fine, especially when I get my hands on Artifact Dagda. Setting these off of the Artifact link will also allow me to pop them with Ignition.
Spoilers.
I don't own it yet, unfortunately.
Oh no!
I didn't get it in time. And then the Handtrap lineup. Do not judge me on the Handtrap lineup because for some reason I can't own cards. 2 whole Ash Blossoms and 1 Retaliating Sea.
Retaliating Sea.
This card is nuts. So, under normal circumstances, this would just be 3 Retaliating Seas, but for some reason I cannot find any. But Retaliating Sea is just pretty much saying if you are activating a card that includes an effect that special summons, you can just pop it out of your hand. So this can be like your Will of the Salamangreats, your Lost World, Shadal Fusion, Invocation, etc., etc.
So it's the nuts.
It is the nuts. So when it hits the field, it's Macrocosmos. So anything getting sent to the graveyard is banished instead. And that's really, really solid against Shadals.
So you're saying this is a Handtrap, Macrocosmos, or Darklaw?
Yes, sir.
That's nuts.
And also, if it gets sent to graveyard, like if it gets ran over by battle, if they pop it with any sort of spell or trap, when it's sent to graveyard, it searches an Earth insect monster, i.e. this thing.
Jesus.
So it even searches my Traptrix monster for additional... So it's additional consistency as well when I'm going second. And it's also just a really solid hand trap as is. For the spells, I am playing 3 Artifact Ignition. This card's nuts.
You got your hands on 3 before it shot up.
Yes, sir.
That's crazy.
And then this card is stupid.
Of course you're playing
This deck doesn't have a win condition otherwise. Except this card really, really loves me, so I lose those games anyway. For my trap hole lineup, I am playing 3 Floodgate Trap Hole and 2 Time Space Trap Hole. Floodgate Trap Hole is nuts, just summoning anything and permanent Book of Mooning it. And there's even some cheese in the extra deck to do piercing damage. We'll get to that later. So I can floodgate something to stop them from link summoning or just stop them from putting out problematic monsters. And then Time Space is really solid when your opponent is summoning from the extra deck. You just flip it, send them back to the extra deck, and burn for 1,000. It's really solid against dinosaurs when they're hard summoning Conductor, when Salads are hard summoning their link monsters. Just bouncing them back to the extra deck, like fine, I'm taking 1,000 damage. That's never anything. And I'm really happy with 5 trap holes because they're fine to open up as well. And then for my other traps, I'm playing 3 Traptrix. It is any trap in my deck, so the card is really solid. Playing 3 Sanctum because I'm playing a shitload of artifacts. And even setting these as bait, like if I end up hard drawing some artifact monsters with Ignition, I can just hard set this as bait. So like, especially games 2 and 3, like when like Twin Twisters are coming in and they start popping this, then I'm gonna get free advantage. I'm getting my Scythe anyway. Playing 3 Shade Brigantine for when I'm going first, because it is a trap that I can activate on my own turn. So it triggers Sarah turn 1 to special summon a Traptrix monster from the deck.
And that's always nice, right?
Yeah, and even then it pumps out another level 4, so I have access to a rank 4 engine.
I did it. I was like, wait, what? The guy that was going
I'm playing 2 heavy Storm Dusters for some other traps, especially because I'm playing a really heavy artifact lineup. Like I can pop my set artifacts. Like if I end up hitting like field spells like Meltdown, or if I go up against other trap decks, that's really solid to have in the main deck. I'm playing 2 Compulse because Compulse is nuts.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And then I am maining 2 Judgment, because people are maining Lightning Storms now, and that's a hell of a card, and wrecks my day.
Lightning Storm's a hell of a drug.
Lightning Storm's a hell of a card. And then extra deck, playing 3 Sarah, play 3. Don't ever play more than 3. This card comes up every single turn. With double or nothing. Playing Pentastag is really solid as well. I'm pretty sure I've taken every single one of my games today that I actually won by making Pentastag and then putting Utopia Double right under it to give Utopia Double piercing. So I'm swinging into a defense monster for 10,000 that I likely Floodgate Trap Hold. And then I'm also playing Boral Sword as an additional win condition.
The secret.
Yeah. And then for Xyz, Time Thief Redoer, when I open up Shade Brigantine, that's typically the rank 4 that I'll go into blind, just because Redoer is a very solid control card. This card should be banned. Oops.
Oops.
Oops. And then playing the Utopia with it. If this ends up getting the Ash, Imperm, Veil, or whatever, then I'll just slap Utopia the Lightning on top of it. So I can still at least swing for 5,000, or he's just a really nice control card sometimes when you can just bop a card and they can't activate anything until the end of the damage step. Like if you're running into Shaddolls or something, they won't get their flip effects. Some other Xyz I'm playing is Abyss Dweller, Rafflesia. This should be Tornado Dragon, but I didn't realize I was not playing it until the tournament started. Oops.
Oops.
And then I'm playing 1 Pallades for when I'm flooding the board with artifacts. And then I'm playing Super Poly Targets So this is for Salamangreats mostly, and also you can make it against the Spiral board to take away their Trigate Wizard and Appaloosa. And
Interesting.
And you're mostly free to go off from there. All the dark decks, and this was in the event I ran into Pendulums, or you can kind of cheese it out with Shadolls. You can cheese it out against Shadolls as well, but this will likely be Artifact Dagda as soon as I get my hands on it. And then side deck. Who'da thunk the trap deck can't go first? Excuse me, who'da thunk the trap deck can't go second? So I'm playing 11 cards that help me go second. Super Poly when I'm going into all of the boards. 3 Nibiru for anything at that point. 2 Kaijus and the 1 Pankratops. And 2 Mind Controls as well.
So why only 2 kaijus?
Because I wanted to make space, because I am citing the third judgment when I know I'm going first.
Got you.
So any of these are a liable cut to go down to 2, and I felt like all of these cards are more impactful than a single kaiju because I still have to out this, whereas everything else outs most of the other things, or at least gives me a body to out whatever I need. And then I'm citing the third judgment for when I know I'm going first, and I know they're putting in evenly matched and lightning storms. And then the final card that I especially like in this deck, Dimensional Barrier.
Seeing this all day.
Dimensional Barrier is nuts, especially in Traptrix, because you flip it and trigger your Sarah. And when you're going against Shadolls, this is just going to end their turn. In the event you make Didos go first and they set up likely, like you back them into a corner where they have to summon like a Logi or Dolka, you can stop them from doing that too, as well as VFD. And then going into Master Roll 5, we're also going to be running into Synchro Spam decks. So this is also really solid against them when I'm going first as well.
Just say, hey, don't play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yes, yes sir.
All right, is that all?
Yes sir, because I feel like this deck doesn't really need a whole lot of help going first. So that's why I only committed 4 cards to going first. The deck sucks going second. Who'd have thunk trap cards can't go first?
All right, so any shout outs?
Shout outs to all the boys back at home, David, Jordan, Ricky, all those guys back at home, and then also shout out as well to all of my friends here in Lafayette.
Yes, sir.
And shout out to King Jamba.
Yeah. All right, boys. Peace. Master Rule 5, baby. Here we come.